Well, that brings our look at the radio version of Have Gun Will Travel to a close. So what's in store for March?
Everything was gone over the airwaves, it was sound, and everyone could imagine what a person looked like, what a situation looked like, in their own minds, by sound effects and by the person's voice. All of us, like Rochester, Phil Harris, Don Wilson, we only had about a page and a half of dialogue on the show. But you better believe that it was the best dialogue that possibly could be written, because Jack knew it was good for himself and for all of the characters on the show. No matter how many laughs, he was very happy with all the laughs you might get. And when the show was over, many people would say, "Hey, did you hear Dennis, or did you hear Phil Harris on the Jack Benny show last night?" It was still the Jack Benny show, because he was the catalyst who manipulated the whole thing. The jokes bounced off of him. He was the butt of most of the jokes. And we got the laughs, but it's still, he was a genius in that sense.
That's what made me seasick.
Yeah, grown up.
Yeah. You know, Dennis, I was all over the South Pacific, too, and I ran into some pretty rough seas. In fact, once I was tossed overboard.
Oh, I was tossed overboard lots of times.
You were?
Yeah, but the captain made the fellas cut it out.
Dennis, the boys kept throwing you overboard. That's terrible.
Oh, it wasn't so bad. The Japs kept throwing me back.
He was a pickle in the middle.
Yeah.
Say, Dennis, when you first joined the Navy, how did they know how to classify you? I mean, how did they know what rank to give you?
Oh, that was easy, Miss Livingston. First, I had to fill out a lot of forms, answer a lot of questions, and then for 2 days they gave me a written test.
For 2 days? That must have been quite a test.
And after it was all over, they made me an ensign.
An ensign? An ensign?
Yeah. I wonder what they'd have made me if I'd have passed.
Maybe it's just as well you didn't. We won the war this way. Well, come on, Dennis. We all want to hear a song. What's it going to be?
Well, since today is St. Patrick's Day, I thought I'd sing Danny Boy.
That's swell. Go sure. Go right ahead.
Next time on Breaking Walls, in honor of St. Patrick's Day and the luck of the Irish, we focus on radio programming from March 17th of days gone by. The reading material used in today's episode was On the Air by John Dunning, Network Radio Ratings by Jim Ramsberg, and Martin Graham's article on the origin of Have Gun Will Travel. On the interview front, Harry Bartell, John Daner, Lawrence Dobkin, and Jack Johnstone were with Spurdvac. For more info, go to spurdvac.com. William N. Robeson was with Dick Bertel and Ed Corcoran for WTIC's The Golden Age of Radio. Hear these at goldenage-wtic.org. Bill Conrad, John Daner, Norman McDonnell, John Meston, and William N. Robeson spoke to John Hickman for his Gunsmoke documentary. John Daner and Vic Perrin spoke to Neil Ross for KMPC in 1982. Jack Crucian and Shirley Mitchell were guests of Jim Bohannon in 1987. And Dennis Day spoke to Chuck Shaden. Hear this chat at speakingofradio.com. Selected music featured in today's episode was Living in the Country in February Sea by George Winston, Ghost Bus Tours by George Fenton, It's Only Make Believe by Conway Twitty, Loch Lomond, arranged for choir by Musica Intima, and Danny Boy by Dennis Day from the March 17, 1946 episode of the Jack Benny program. Subscribe to Burning Gotham, the new audio soap opera set in 1835 New York City. It's available everywhere you get your podcasts and at burninggotham.com. Special thank you to Ted Davenport, Jerry Hendigas, and Gordon Skeen. For Ted, go to radiomemories.com. For Jerry, visit otrsite.com. And for Gordon, go to pastdaily.com. I'd also like to thank Walden Hughes and John and Larry Gassman of Spurdvac. Listen to their shows on the Yesterday USA Radio Network.
And I shall sleep in peace.
Breaking Walls episode 137 will spotlight moments from various St. Patrick's Days on the air. This episode will be available beginning March 1st, 2023, everywhere you get your podcasts and at thewallbreakers.com. In the meantime, give Breaking Walls a quick rating on whatever platform you listen, especially iTunes. You can also join the Breaking Walls Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/thewallbreakers. And support this show for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/thewallbreakers.
Very good, very good. That was Danny Boy, sung by Dennis Day. And now...
Say, Mr. Benny, I meant to ask you, how's Mr. Allen?
Who?
Fred Allen.
Well, kid, it was nice seeing you again.
No, Phil. In fact, I'm glad he brought it up. Dennis, I'm happy to tell you that Fred Allen has the same old program, the same old joke, the same
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. That's not fair. I've heard all of Fred's programs, and they've been very funny.
Yeah, but Mary, I wouldn't mind if his joke just laid there. But they crawl out of the radio and stain your rugs. Some program.
That just shows what you know, Jackson. I think the funniest thing in radio is Allen's Alley.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yeah. I think so, too.
Oh, you do, eh?
I think so, too.
Oh, you do, eh?
I think Mr. Benny is much funnier than Mr. Allen.
I think so, too.
Oh, you do, eh?
So, until March 1st, my name is James Scully. This has been Breaking Walls episode 136, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you very much.